Hello, everybody. My name is Captain P. Vasanth, presently working as a faculty with HIMP College, Kalpakkam. Now, the topic of my discussion today with you all is inland waterways of India. Now, why I chose this subject is that I was having a very long sea career, and during my sailing days, I've been to all over the world and visited a lot of those ports and was very fascinated. And I was wondering, why can't we in India develop our rivers in similar ways so that we can improve our river navigation? Now, let us start with inland waterways of India. Now, as you all know, India has got a very vast coastline and we have lot of rivers. Now, the main object is India has an extensive network of inland waterways in the form of rivers, canals, lakes, backwaters, and creeks. The total navigable length is 14,500 kilometers, out of which about 5,200 kilometers of river and 4,000 kilometers of canal can be used by mechanized crafts. Now, these long water provide a good mode of transport across cities all over India as well as towns. Like, for example, the backwaters of Kerala, then there are some canals in Gujarat and a few waterways in Goa, West Bengal, and Assam. Now, still, in spite of all these things, the inland waterways in India are very much underutilized when compared to other countries in the world. For example, the Inland Waterways Authority in India working on a new project for waterways and better way transportation in India. Now, the planning, what we are doing is freight transportation by waterways is highly underutilized in India compared to other large countries and geographic areas like the United States, China, and European Union. Now, the total cargo moved by the inland waterway in India was just 0.1% of the total inland traffic compared to the 21% figures for the United States. This is very much low. Now, the cargo transportation in an organized manner is confined to a few waterways in Goa, West Bengal, Assam, and Kerala. Water transport is receiving significant attention in recent times since logistic cost in India is one of the highest among major countries. At present, it is 18% in India versus 8 to 10% in China and 10 to 12% in European Union. Now, while inland waterways are recognized as a fuel efficient, effective and environment friendly mode of transport, it has received lesser investment as compared to roads and railways. Since inland waterways are lagging behind other mode of transport, the central government has evolved a policy for integrated development of inland waterways. Now, what is the intent of the government through this plan? The intent of the government through this plan is the government says developing the waterways is our top priority. At present, India has 6 inland waterways, but only 3 are operational. India waterways has been neglected sector due to lack of focus and policy measures. India is the last position in the world in this sector. Now, comparing India with other countries, in China, 47% of passengers and goods traffic is through water. In Korea and Japan, it is 43 to 44%, and in Europe it is over 40%. In India, it is just 3.3%, out of which inland waterways accounts for a mere 0.3%, which is very, very low. Waterways have the potential to revolutionize transport. It could contribute to at least 2% to the country's GDP. Now, comparing India with other countries, waterways are cheaper than rails, roads, less polluting, and result in fewer accidents. The government is also planning to introduce seaplanes, water buses, hovercraft, and floating hotels to connect coastal towns to boost waterways tourism. Now, there are some concerns to the government. As you know, the opposition parties have expressed concern over the union government plan to turn 111 rivers across India into national waterways through National Waterways Act 2014. The law's impact on the already drying rivers, the law impacts on the rights of people and the power of the state to regulate the economy along the bank of these rivers. The other concerns are environment issues and livelihood concerns that may crop up at a later stage. With rivers drying up, artificially maintaining water levels in river canals will be challenging on many stretches. The operation of a navigable river would alter the economics of ecology of the riverine system inalienably. It sets up competing demands on the stress water level with existing users, particularly farmers who need water for irrigation and drinking water demands. Now, what does making a navigable waterway require? Now, for navigable waterway, we must have a depth of more than 2 meters. At least the barges can go. It requires constant and steady water flow at a set minimal limit depending on the tonnage of weight to be shipped. This has to be managed artificially. The river has to operate like a canal. This will involve the construction of locking barrage to hold water for vessel movement, concretization and building of embankment to create port terminals and regular high intensity capital dredging of river sediments deposition along channel bottom and margin. It also requires huge private investment and participation for funds such as large scale operations. Now, what are the importance of river transport? Water transport is not only environmental friendly but also cheaper than other mode of transport. It takes lesser time to transport cargo by waterways and the chances of congestion is there is a huge potential for public-private partnership led investment in dredging, construction, operation and maintenance of barges, terminals, storage facilities and navigation as well as tourism. It will help in the generation of millions of job opportunities. It will boost the maritime trade of the state and augment their economies. Apart from this, the various advantages of having inland waterway, there are a lot of challenges of having it. What are the challenges? Many of the rivers generally needs to be develop water reservoir for conservation of rainwater to feed such rivers. There is a need to estimate the quantum of water required on a weekly basis throughout the year to maintain the minimum depth of water in the canals for navigability, besides ensuring that drinking, irrigation and other demands of water do not get impacted. India plans to overall rivers for shipping. What are they? The plans to turn the country's waterways into a major shipping channel will require large-scale engineering and linking of river basins. The Indian government ambition plan to develop 106 rivers into integrated inland water transport system have triggered fierce debate. Now, there are 111 officially notified inland waterways in India identified for the purpose of inland water transport as per National Waterways Act 2016. Out of 111 national waterways, 106 were created in the year 2016. The National Waterway Network covers around 20,275.5 kilometers. Now, there are at the present 6 inland national waterways of India which are operational. One is almost completion, in the completion stage. Let us study what is national waterway number, come in order. National waterway number 1 will start from Allahabad to Haldia with a distance of 1,620 kilometers. It is the longest national waterway in India. As you can see, it covers important cities Allahabad, Varanasi, Chunar, Patna, Karagola, Farakka, Calcutta and Haldia. The distance from Haldia to Farakka is 560 kilometers. From Farakka to Patna is 460 kilometers. From Patna to Allahabad 600 kilometers, which makes a total distance of 1,620. At present, a lot of containers are also being transported to this river. Then the second one is National Highway number 2. This with a stretch on Brahmaputra River from Sadia to Dhulburi in Assam state. The National Waterway 2 is one of the major freight transportation waterway of the northeastern India and the third longest waterway with a total length of 891 kilometers. Then comes the National Waterway number 3. National Waterway number 3 or the West Coast Canal is located in Kerala state and runs from Kollam to Kottapuram. The 205 kilometers long West Coast Canal is India's first waterway with all-time navigation facilities. The National Waterway 3 consists of West Coast Canal, Kampara Canal and Udayam Mandal Canal and runs through Kottapuram, Chetalaya, Tirukannapuja, Kollam and Alappuzha. Then comes the National Waterway number 4. This National Waterway number 4 is connecting Kakinada to Puducherry through canals, tanks and river Godavari along with Krishna River. The National 4, I repeat, the National Waterway 4, the second longest waterway of India with total length of 1078 kilometers declared as National Waterway in the year 2008 in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Union Territory of Puducherry. Then comes National Waterway number 5. This National Waterway number 5 connects Odisha to West Bengal using the stretch on Brahmani River, East Coast Canal, Matai River and Mahani River Delta. The 623 kilometer long canal system will handle the traffic of cargo such as coal, fertilizer, cement and iron. National Waterway number 6 is not in completion, is the proposed waterway in Assam state and will connect Lakhimpur to Bagna in River Barak. This is 121 kilometers long waterway, will help in trading between town of Silkar to Mizoram state. Gentlemen, I have showed you all the rivers are there, but there is one drawback. you know, there is not enough water to run a ship. Okay, there's a river is there, but there is no sufficient water. What is happening in India is the northern part of India, Himalayas and all, there is lot of flood, the overflow, and the water is getting wasted in form of flood. Whereas in the southern India, the rivers are running dry. So what we require now is to balance, is to divert the water from North India, which are excess, to the other area where the water is insufficient. So for this, there is something known as interlinking of the rivers. So, interlinking of the rivers. What is interlinking of the rivers? Okay. Interlinking of rivers is nothing but joining the rivers of the country by networks of canals and reservoirs. Interlinking of rivers in India was proposed for the first time during British colonial rule in the year 1919. The main intention of the proposal was initially to reduce the transportation cost of raw materials and finished products. But the Indian government has established the National Water Development Agency to study the interlinking of rivers under the Ministry of Water Resources. Now, many states have proposed for interlinking of rivers due to scarcity of water in their states, and hence the central government is working on a few projects. Yes, it will reduce the poverty and floods and distributes water equally. Interlinking of rivers will also have commercial importance on a longer run. This can be used as inland waterways, and which helps in faster movement of goods from one place to another. Interlinking creates a new occupation for people living in and around these canals, and it can be the main areas of fishing in India. But at the same time, there are many disadvantages of interlinking. No, it will be environmental problem, ecological imbalance, and reduce water table. Interlinking will cause high amount of distortion in the existing environment. In order to create canals and reservoirs, there will be mass deformations. This will have impact on rain and in turn affect their whole cycle of life. Usually, river changes their course and direction in 100 years, and if this happens after interlinking, then the project will not be feasible for a long run. Also, due to interlinking, there will be decrease in the amount of fresh water entering sea, and this will cause a serious threat to the marine life system and will be a major ecological disaster. Due to creation of canals and reservoirs, high amount of areas which is occupied by the people will be submerged, leading to displacement of people, and government will have to spend more to rehabilitate people. The amount required for these projects is so high that the government will have to take loans from the foreign sources. Now, friends, my conclusion is that interlinking of rivers is definitely a good solution for the scarcity of the water, but interlinking has to take place after a detailed study so that it does not cause any problem. From the above disadvantage of interlinking, it may look that it will not be possible to have interlinking of the rivers. But let us draw inspiration from the British, who in the 18th century wanted to have direct connection from Madras to London. So they built the artificial Chennai harbour in 1866, the fruit of which we Indians are enjoying today. So let us give an opportunity to the experts to make this interlinking a successful one. With this, I end. Thank you very much.